Ladies and gentlemen, it's RNL's F1 time. Let's be honest, it's Belgium. It's going to be an absolute belter. I'm Ben Raggy McConnell, and joining me, as always, is the incredibly talented Mr. King Kodiak. How you doing?
I am all good, my friend. Ready to get this underway. Oh man, we've had both ends of the weather spectrum in the F2 race. Ooh, I bet our F1 guys are hoping to get the latter and not the former.
Well, I mean, definitely. I mean, if you look at the driver standings, Hypers is currently leading. He's on 215 points, and he's ahead of his two competitors, really, Nicholas and Infamous. It's 166 and 160. Now, Nicholas has had a bit of a rough patch. He's not quite delivered anywhere near as quick as he needs to, but Hypers is feeling very confident and very comfortable. In fact, I've actually been in voice chat with both of them at the same time, and let me tell you, they are absolutely trash-talking each other into the dirt. They are not giving anybody any room to breathe, which is great. You know, this is really firing them up. When it comes to the constructors, things are not quite as clear-cut as you would expect. Mercedes are way up the field. They are 260 points, whereas Haas are in P2 with 209. Racing Point in P3 with 181, but now Nicholas has a teammate that is actually delivering some podium positions as well. Now there's an opportunity for them to gain that position back. That is the clouds. We're hopefully going to see a nice dry race, but that is the track. Look at it. 4.3 miles, 19 turns, 2 DRS zones. Majority of those DRS zones are being technically Sector 1, although you have a bit in the end of Sector 3. But your eSport Works hotspots look as follows. Turn 7. We saw this last season between Buemels and Rainbow. They had a big old battle coming towards the end of it, and there was a big old contact between them as well. And Buemels was the one who ended up losing out as a result. You got the bus stop chicane, which is very well known for the late braking. It was between Copy and Beaker last time, and if you watch carefully at Beaker, he goes into the wall and ends up getting disqualified as a result of him not being able to move, sadly. But this is the hot lap to show you how it should be done around this track. DRS home straight here, going up towards turn 1. You want to brake at the 100-meter board, get yourself down to gear 2, and then turn in quite nicely. And the exit of this corner is absolutely crucial. You cannot afford to get anything wrong here, because look how long you have flat out here. Straight up through Eau Rouge Radion, you never lift off the throttle at all. You just keep it pinned, and you pray you hit all the curbs just right. Get the DRS wing wide open. As you see, now we are on the Kemmel Straight. This is going to be the main overtaking area, but that doesn't mean this is going to be the only overtaking area. As you know, this circuit has a lot of opportunities to overtake, especially in here, in the chicane of La Source. If you can go side by side, keep it, but then you got a right-hander afterwards, so make sure you get it just right. Coming up to another long, sweepy right, but you can't really go side by side here because it's just so hard to keep the momentum and the grip there. And then you come into the corner with no name. You take the left-hander, you cut the curb just nicely, and you don't run wide and do not touch the wall. As you lead up towards Pouon, this is a lovely left-hander here. You want to brake just as you get to the curb on the left-hand side, and then just slightly get the exit in nicely, and then run hard as you go through again into another chicane. It's a long, sweepy one. It's more like S's than it is actually a chicane. You've got a long right and then a long left. Coming into a double right-hander, probably the second most important area of the circuit, because you have got to get this exit just right. Do not hit the wall on the left-hand side like we saw in the F2 cars, where you saw cars explode on that wall. As we lead up towards Blanchimont now, again, don't go too wide here. If you touch the inside curb, you are dead, and if you run wide, you're going to get a warning, if not a penalty. So be gentle there. Coming up towards the bus stop chicane, this is the final few corners here. You want to brake at the 100-meter board, get yourself down to gear 2, clip the curb just nice on the inside, but this is arguably the hardest bit. You need to make sure your exit is not too squiggly, as you are going to drag race up towards the start line, and that is Yonti showing us exactly how it should be done, but now we're going to see it for the real thing. Now, as always, Mr. Kodiak, I'm sure you've had plenty of experience in this now, so you probably already got your 1, 2, 3 lined up, but I want to hear your prediction for the qualifying.
I did until Camille showed up last week. Good grief. The boy done good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
It was my driver of the day. I mean, he just absolutely stormed it. Wasn't afraid to get his elbows out against the establishment. But, I mean, Hyper's flawless. It was just a joy to behold at Hungary. It was absolutely flawless. You can't not put the championship leader towards the front end, especially if he's already confident about Spa. You had one in the first F2 race, didn't you?
I did. That was Steam apparently died. Luckily,
shall I carry on where I was going?
I think you should. I think you may have to start it again, though.
We were talking about the Racing Point boys. As Nicholas Longier was coming to the end of his time lap, Camille was perfectly positioned on the Kemmel Straight to give a long ass drag. right the way the whole length, and he jumped out of the way with literally millimeters to spare. It looked like he was just going to be a horrible tangled mess, but it was perfectly timed. And you know what? Hypers is still quicker. So you can't not put Hypers on the top spot. You can't. You're daft to get bet against him unless it's blooming torrential rain and snowballs.
Yeah.
You can't bet against him.
This is the thing.
And Pan as well. Look, he's up there again. He wasn't quite as strong last week at Hungary, if I remember. He was still pretty good though. And as we've observed, his performance has been getting better and better and better and better. But as for a top three, you can't not put Mr. Hypers on the top spot. I'm going to go with. I reckon Longa is going to give him a run for his money this time. He got rather mullered last week, but I think he's going to. I think he's going to be Hypers, Longa, and. Ooh, now is he going to be? Oh, we've lost you again.
I'm still here. Apparently, my standings are all messed up. You said Pampernick has scored, done a time on the board.
Pampernick has been doing very well. He's currently third. You're back again. Good stuff. He's currently third with 11.5 minutes to go. I reckon that third spot is going to be Camille. I reckon from what we saw last week, he's going to be the second racing point. But that it could go to anyone. I mean, look how close they are already. This is just the bank collapse, and they're 3/10 apart, first to sixth. So, our heavy hitters. And again, I mean no disrespect to the rest of the field, but we're starting to see. We have been seeing. The regular top hitters, of which Pampernick is now really getting himself established into. Hypers, Longa, Infamous, Preisnader, and now Camille. Okay, Camille's only just joined us, but he was right in there from the word go. And then there's 3/10 of a gap between himself and Tom. Bearing in mind that also as well, Spire is one of the longest laps on the entire circus. And we're still seeing really, really tight gaps. 6,000 of a second between Camille and Preisnader. Seriously, here at Spirable places.
Now, I know you mentioned you briefly touched Pampernick. Pampernick has actually been.
That's a lie. You have no evidence I've touched Pampernick. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. It took me a little while to click what you actually meant, but now I realise. Yeah, no, Pampernick, he has seriously impressed me. I've been singing about him for the last couple of races now. It's like, ever since he got that P3, something has changed in him. He was just next level from this moment forward. I just don't understand it. It is crazy to see. But, I'm very pleased in the way that he's performed. I'm very pleased in the way this has all gone down. And, Tom97 has joined as well. This is his first race in this league for us. He's done a 1:42.818. I know you want to go for Hypers, and I kind of want to go with you too. However, this is a track that Hypers is not as good as Nicholas at, and I also am yet to see Infamous chuck anything ridiculous in. Now, Infamous is the guy I rely on to do the fastest lap times right at the very end. Like, he doesn't seem to be the best overall up until the final run. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he waits to chuck in his best lap until that very last lap. And I don't know how he does it, but he's consistently able to pull it off. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. But it's just gives me so much cause for concern when we come into this race here. When you see these guys ahead of him, you've got to think, how is he going to get a win here? He's struggling now to take these race wins. He's still scoring some huge points, and as a result of that, him alongside Yonti are able to get P2 in the Constructors standings. It's just such a drama, if you like, for this to happen. Can I just ask, by the way, where is Hypers on your screen?
Top. He's pole.
I mean, physically on track, sorry.
Oh, on track, a big one. He is just coming out of the chicane, just about to start his time lap.
Okay, well, I can't see him currently, so that's sad.
Okay. Interesting, the Racing Point boys are at it again. They've just done the slipstream trick with Longo on his time lap, Camille doing the supporting role. It's interesting they've done it twice in the same qualifying session. I don't think we've seen that all season, have we?
Not from them, no, definitely not. I mean, they've only raced 2 races together, I think. So.
No, I don't mean them specifically. I don't think anyone has tried it. We've seen it happen, but not twice in the same session.
Oh, no, definitely not. No, absolutely. I'm glad they're doing it. It's a good test. Yeah. I think everyone will do it.
As well. There's so much to be gained, though. On that, on the Camel Trek, there is so much to be gained. This is actually, this is the 4th time, including the F2 race earlier. This is the 4th time I've commentated on Spa this week, and you can tell how really upset I am about that. But you can't escape the fact that slipstream is a massive spot. It always has been, always will be. Yep, now the Alfa Romeo pair doing it. Yeah, some idiot is just catapulted past Yenab. Yenab did well until he got punted off last week, didn't he?
He did.
We were talking about Yenab for a while. Well, there you go. There's the results of it, as Mr. Longue now on the top spot, but he did seem to need that bit of slipstream to get him up there, whereas Hypers didn't have the slipstream last time around, but he's probably going to... Hi, Infamous!
Yeah, welcome. And he didn't get the toe. Bear that in mind. He didn't get a toe.
I was just about to make that very point. Well, unless JC gave him a... Oh, no, JC's only just appeared, so... Wow.
And also not his teammates.
JC's...
I'd be very surprised.
JC's waiting for copies. So, yeah, the Williams pair... Weren't they one of the first ones this season to do the slipstream? Oh, and Infamous is now waiting to give the slipstream to Yonti. So, yeah, exactly as you just said, everyone is doing There's so much to gain. Ooh. Yeah. Well, that's actually that was kind of my top three backwards. That's reverse of how I called it.
Well, there's still time, that's the thing.
I put Camille in third. There was still 6.5 minutes to go, yeah.
Well, this is it, we're not yet at my favorite time of the session. We're not yet at the point where we can see everyone start to get a bit desperate. And yeah, the toe has proved massively important for these drivers, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see, a few more tens get shaved off of that. I mean, a 141.9 is crazy. I mean, I can't fathom how incredible those lap times are. I can't even break the 143s. That's how hard it is for me to do this track. These guys have found so much pace around the circuit. And Zones has made his name up there as well. Look at that P3 or 142 153s ahead of Hypers. He's ahead of Pampernick. And I want to see what Tom can do. Tom, obviously, in his debut race for the RNL, I want to see if he can get himself into a nice, solid, I want to see like a top 7, top 6 position as Camille. There you go. You were waiting for him to make a name, and he's made his name. A 141.845.
That's going to keep coming down there. You can just imagine that time is going to keep falling, whilst everyone's slipstream is sorted out. I'm a little surprised that Zones didn't wait for Tom to try and slipstream him.
They did talk about it beforehand. I saw it because I can see all of the text channels, luckily, so I can see all the little. I get all the little gossip. I get all the little insights as to what's going on, and I can see that between the two, Zones and Tom, they did have a discussion about it, but they hadn't had any practice time together, so they didn't want to run the risk of doing the toe and actually impact each other's races negatively. If that makes sense.
That's the thing. It looks very simple. You know damn well it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Because, particularly the one that's in front, your timing has got to be so perfect. You jump out too early and you ruin the slipstream effect, or you seriously impact it. You'll gain a little bit instead of an absolute bucket load. Unless Zones are going to do it now, because now Zones has actually just floored it with his teammate there, but he's... Well, you can do the slipstream effect there, but it's nowhere near as effective. Is Zones going to jump out of the way? Yeah, he does.
Done just about.
Well, there's enough downforce in these things to make it effective there, but it's easier on the course, right? Curious on where Tom's going to appear now. Let's just watch him finish his lap.
P12.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that effective along... I don't think that was intended. I just whilst I'm here. Very much think. But yeah, exactly as you say. You get it wrong, and you've just ploughed into your teammate and decimated your qualifying. That's it, job done.
Yeah.
And there's only a few ideal overtaking opportunities outside of the Camel Straight.
I don't think we're actually going to see the calm before the storm this time. I don't think it's going to happen. I was hoping we'd see it around about now, to be honest. I mean, there are a lot of people in the pits, don't get me wrong. But there are a few people who are actually still doing hot laps at this stage. This is quite concerning because anybody who's doing a hot lap right now is not going to get the track at its most optimal grip. You're not going to get it as rubbered in as you would like it to be. The temperatures are not going to be at perfect. You're going to be struggling in order to keep it properly on the circuit. And, Tom did chuck a lap time on. It was a 142.688, but now he's in a predicament. He can't get to the pits and back out again in time to do another hot lap. And if he can, it's going to be so marginal. I'm worried for him. I'm worried for a few of these drivers. Yenab, he did this last week, if you remember. He actually went Although he will have time, he will make it in. But he actually went out to do a hot lap. Attempted it. It didn't work out for him, and right now he's, chucking himself back into the pits, in trouble.
Are they burning up a lot of soft tyres, do you reckon?
They will be, but only because they'll be going softs to mediums. That's the only way that
true.
It'll work for them. Mediums can go a very long way in this race. In fact, majority of the race can be done on mediums. It's the main problem for these guys is going to be the tire when you pit and the tire weight you're going to have on them. So they have to just chuck their softs in the bin as much as possible. They will do a decent amount of this race, but I saw this the other day actually on Tuesday and Thursday actually. If you keep on these tires for just a little bit too long, your race is going to be in bits.
The Racing Point pair done it again, I've just realised.
And the Williams are doing it right now, and the Ferraris, oh wow, the Williams were so close. Just chilling, almost went into the back of his teammate. That's how much they tried to get as much toe as possible, and it worked out for them. They got it. There's a Haas that's made a mistake going through turn one, oh no, he's not made a mistake. He's waiting for his teammate. They are going away now, so the Williams are looking good. Just chilling got a really solid toe, and the Pampernick / Danico duo, they also gave Pampernick a really good toe. So let's see how that pans out. But also we saw the Renaults in the past. I think it was France. We saw them, the Renaults giving each other the toe, and it ended up working massively for Brownie. If you remember, he got P2. Yes, it all went to pot when he got to turn 2, but he still managed to secure it. So qualifying, this is about as good as it can get.
I think the Merc pair are going to do it. Oh, hi. Hypers was the lead Merc. And he's just bunged in a 141.6.
Yeah. Oh, and Nicholas has not beaten it. Nicholas has not beaten it, look. That's so close. 200ths of a second separating them, and that's all they've got. Nicholas is going to give the toe to Camille. We've lost Kai Bacchini, who had an issue coming into the corner with no name, but Hypers is giving the Mercedes teammate Geton, who's yet to put a time on the board, a toe. This should help Geton get up in the grid quite nicely, and he's going to be so appreciative of that toe.
Yeah, Camille's doing the same thing off the back of Longo along the Kemmel Straight. It looked like Longo was just kind of bouncing his DRS open and shut there. Not sure what he was doing, but he's doing Nicholas Longo things, as we'll accept. So that's giving Camille a decent amount of slipstream. He is catching up to what I assume Hypers has stopped.
Yeah, he didn't want to get in the way. He is very much parked in a very awkward position.
Yeah, that's a bit of a... He should have really got off track as... oh dear, Longo has binned it on the... What's he done there? He's binned it.
He's just retired. He retired on track, that's all.
Okay.
Risky area, I guess, but as long as it doesn't affect anybody. Pampernick has retired as well, so clearly not happy with the lap time he did. A 142.3, which is surprising considering how quick he was on his first run. Oh, Camille's just done a purple sector too, if I've just read that correctly. So keep an eye on this then. Camille might actually dethrone Hypers. Imagine Hypers being stuck in a Racing Point sandwich going into the race here. Oh, come on, Camille. Give us what we want to see. Get that inside beautifully. Get the exit just right. Get the drag race up to the line. Perfect. It's a 40. It's a 41. It's not enough. It was a 146, 41.644, but he invalidated somewhere. Disaster.
He would have done it. He would have done it as well. Barely, but he would have done it. But, sigh of relief from Mr. Hypers. That must have been in the last sector. I didn't see where. It looked fine from my perspective, but goodness me, as Camille's AI is pushing Bottas gang along the road, just for reasons. Who's still out there? Yonti's still going. 42.7 on the board. JC is retired, I think. Oh, Brownie 8th, 142.2. That's nothing to be too ashamed about whatsoever.
No.
Wow,
I missed how close this grid is.
1.3 is assuming that Kai didn't get a 42.1. A decent effort from Yonti. 1,000th behind Brownie. Lovely tight pack there. 1.3 seconds. Well, 1.9 seconds if you include Kai's time. But goodness me, near enough the entire field. 1.5 seconds apart.
Yeah, I mean that's nuts.
Dear Lord.
I mean, all the way down to P13 is where you then start to break the 1 second margin after that when you get 14th onwards. But here's the rundown at the end of the qualifying session. It is Hypers who does take pole position, albeit barely, by just 0.02 of a second, with Camille in P3, so it's a really good result for Racing Point overall. Not quite the same to be said about Mercedes. However, it's Preschneider in P4 with Infamous in P5, Zones P6, Brownie P7, Yonti P8, Yolta P9, Get Owned rounds out the top 10 with Pampernick there in P11, Dynaco P12, Yenab P13, Copy P14, Tom 15th, he's just chilling 16th, Sumidi 17th, Bottas Gang 18th, Dennis and Kai 19th and 20th. So the Red Bull boys struggling to get themselves a bit further up the grid, but you know, when you look at the rest of the grid, it's not anything to be ashamed of by any stretch of the imagination. These guys are fast.
This is monstrously alien pace going on, and again, you know, the guys at the back needn't be too ashamed because they're not that far off the pace either here at Spa, and everybody breathing a sigh of relief. Rain has stayed away. It is looking bone dry. On my screen, Hypers is doing the whole, was it Lando Norris bouncing around on the car? He is raring. He is ready to go. Whatever he's listening to in the car is causing everything to bounce.
So the drivers are on the grid. They're just looking at the strategies that they want to take into this race. They're looking at the fuel load that they're going to take with them, and those outside the top 10 are going to choose the tyres they want to start on. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see people go on the mediums to start with. I think that's probably the best strategy here because this is a track you can overtake pretty easily on. I say easily, you know, you just line it up for the Kemmel Straight and then absolutely yeet it. But you also got the lead up towards Blanchimont as well. That's quite an important sector. The whole of Sector 3 is an overtaking area if you think about it. And I think that being said, the only person who didn't choose, or the only 3 people, sorry, that didn't choose, actually, I didn't realise, were Pampernick, Danico, and Dennis. They all chose the softs. So
well, the Ferrari pair I can understand that they are closest to the soft runners. Dennis, a mistake, do you think? That far back? Well, I get nothing to lose, may as well banz, I guess. A strange decision.
Yeah, potentially. So, the Driver of the Day voting will open at the beginning of lap 16. So make sure that you're ready to vote. Have a good think about who you're going to get there. But, you know, the most important thing right now for me is the predictions. I want to hear what your Twitch chat predictions are for the 1, 2, 3 at the end of this Grand Prix. Do you think Hypers can hold on to P1? Do you think Nicholas is going to be faster? Or do you think someone outside of it, Camille, Preschneider, Infamous, any of these guys, Zones onwards, could take a nice race win? What do you think, Kodiak?
Well, the top 3, as I predicted it at the beginning of the show, are now in that top 3. So are in the order that I called them in. So I'm sticking with it. Hypers Longue, Camille. I was just so impressed with Camille's, you know, hi, I'm here, get out of the way, I'm coming through kind of driving. It's going to take some kind of detonation, and unless Longue is well, he's not shown any real signs of kind of giving up and throwing in the towel, has he? I mean, like I said, it was only 0.02 of a second between himself and young Mr. Hypers, so I reckon Longue is going to be all charged up for this. I reckon he's going to be pushing Hypers to the brink.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly think that Nicholas will actually bide his time here on Hypers. I think Nicholas will actually outplay. I think this is more going to be a outplay rather than outpace. If I'm being honest, you know, the way this track runs down is usually just stay behind whoever you need to pass until like the second or third to last lap, and then just go for it. Then, you know, manage your opponent's ERS levels and just absolutely take it. All right, here we go. Then we are getting into the grid. We're just waiting for the back runners to filter into their positions, and we're going to see a very exciting race coming in towards Belgium. Then Hypers is going to be leading off as soon as the lights go out. Nicholas is going to be hunting him down, and knowing how good Nicholas's runs are, he might get the start he needs in order to jump Hypers straight off the bat. But it is a very short run to turn 1. If he does want to go for it, he's going to be on the outside line, and that is not easy to do at all when it comes to passing anybody. So sit tight, get ready. The lights are on then. Nicholas, do you have it? Or Hypers, can you protect it? Or maybe Camille could get the opportunity he needs, but it's go time here in Belgium. Hypers, then you need to get a good run. I think he might have got that. Preschneider's coming as well, alongside as well. This is going to be pretty clean, I think, throughout all. As Renault's gone deep into the corner. That was almost a Max Verstappen and Kimi Räikkönen moment, and Brownie's lost so many places as a result. He's dropping down like a stone now. Zones and Infamous have swapped places too. Infamous is up to P5, and he is charging towards Preschneider.
Yeah, lovely view from Prationator then as Longe got an absolutely cracking start of the line. Side by side with Hypers. Camille is not interested in that. He sits behind. Is Longe going to try and commit to that one into Laycom? Yes, he is. Hypers is not going to want to let it go. Whoa, big tank slam from the racing point, but Longe in the lead. Can he hold it as we come down to Rivage? Yes, he can. Longe takes the lead, and here comes Prationator trying to get involved in the party as well. He's got on the inside of Camille. Oh my goodness, he caught Camille napping completely into Rivage. Oh my days, you do not see many moves into Rivage. He'd already committed. Camille already committed to the moves. He's a tad wide coming through one. Oh, here comes Infamous. Oh my goodness. There doesn't appear to be any damage on Camille's car. Oh wow, he's just been mugged.
He has very severely, and Infamous just squeezes him onto the off track there. But I mean, it's still an area you can keep your pace on. You can still keep your car pointing in the right direction. I think that was ultimately very crucial for Camille. But this is bad news bears for Camille. But this is brilliant for Nicholas. He's already building up. Well, I'll say he was already building up a nice gap, but here comes Hypers then to try and ruin his day for him. That toe is going to be huge for him, but Hypers has turned to mode 0, so I would be very surprised if he goes for any send. He's just trying to maintain the line, kind of keep himself here as well. Camille and Infamous, they have a bit of contact, and Camille almost loses the car. I think he just ran into the back there. I don't think he has damage. I want to see his front left wing. Let me have a look as we come towards turn 1. Yeah, it looks all good. So. Oh, it was risky. He had a very scary moment, but no wing damage means we can reset and go again.
I don't think Hypers can feel too comfortable, though. Prationator is lurking. Whilst Hypers might try and bide his time a little bit, he's got that very pesky Toro Rosso right behind him, and we know Prationator is quick. We know Prationator can put the pressure on when he needs to, and Hypers will know full well he is there. So, yeah I'm not convinced that Hypers is going to play the easy game as Camille just banzais it on the inside of Infamous. Zones is right there. A great effort there from the McLaren. As he's Yonti. Ooh, don't let me commentate a curse you say. Don't fly off the road as soon as I mention you. Also, Ghetto and Yonti having a great scrap for 7th position right behind them. Yeah, decent amount of fighting going on, but you know that most people are just going to try and time their attacks properly, not just throw it wherever they hope it will stick. Spa won't let you do things like that.
Who's just gone off? That was Yolta. That was a massive crash. I don't know exactly what happened, but he just disappeared and went straight off into the wall. It's like he'd even brake for the corner. Danico's also facing the wrong direction as well. He's going to reverse back. Oh, wow. We've already had a massive smash already. Lap 2, Sector 2 yellow flag. No safety car yet.
Is there a magnet over there in P1 or something? It's like you say, one of the F2 cars banzaied off. They wanted to try and do a bit of a Mario Kart and jump over onto and join Blanchimont from P1.
Yeah, I think he tried, yeah.
Yeah, good luck. Well, 2 out of 2 for the barrier in that particular instance, but Hypers is there keeping the pressure on Longe. That's those two. How many races have those two been fighting one another? Camille now starting to get into his stride. He's gotten sufficiently ahead of Infamous to try and more concentrate on Prationator. But again, Infamous isn't going to let that go without a fight. Oh, we have got so many cars still within DRS. It's like 1st to 12th. Yeah. Still has first. Obviously, doesn't have DRS, but you know what I mean. From top to 12th, still has. Oh, here comes Hypers. Banzai's that on the inside of Longe. Longe knew that one was coming, and that lead is going to change hands so many times. But Camille is not in a position where he can help Longe at the moment. Well, give it time, he will be. He can put the pressure on Prationator. Longe wants Camille behind him. He wants a rear gunner against Prationator, because again, we know Prationator will ying that one into where it needs to be. And again, Camille has Infamous for company, who has Zones. Zones actually has a tiny bit of breathing space. Yonti is actually quite a way back. He's just about losing DRS range to the McLaren. So Zones is the one that is under the least amount of pressure of the top 6.
Which is strange to even think about. I mean, also look at the ERS levels that Zones has got. He's still on 71%. You look at that for Yonti. He's 37. He's struggling to stay within the DRS range of Zones here. I don't know if mistakes were made at the end of Sector 1 going into Sector 2 or what. I'm not sure, but Yonti's got to pull it together, and he's trying hard. Look at that, Mode 4 already very much engaged here. I'm also curious to see what Prationator is going to do here to try and attack these top 2. He is absolutely biding his time. He's not pushing whatsoever to get past these. My worry is if he lets Camille by and Camille gets up in a P3, Nicholas is absolutely going to say, all right, Camille, I'm going to pass Hypers here. You need to do everything you can to get past him too, and then use that to hold him back. I can run then, job's a good one. But, you know, in theory, that's pretty straightforward. In practicality, that is very difficult to achieve, and I think Nicholas might go for a run here.
Camille's going to have a harder time keeping Prationator behind him than trying to get past Hypers, in my honest opinion. But yeah, here we go again. Longe goes to the inside line. Hypers defends the inside. Kaibachini once again the first one to open the penalty scorebook. And a lovely move from Longe on the outside of the entrance to Lacom. But Prationator is lurking. Hypers just, if nothing else, he's being distracted by the Toro Rosso behind him. And Camille can get involved. It's going to be... Prationator was in a bit of an awkward one because, yeah, like you say, he could easily just let this play out and, you know, then decide what to do after pit stops. I don't reckon he's got that luxury though, because exactly as you say, Camille is in a perfect position to be able to support Longe. Of course, Camille is not going to be in the championship fight, not unless something really disastrous happens to Hypers for the next, what would have to be half a dozen rounds at least. Which, I mean, you know, conspiracy theorists would think that Camille could do. That's another matter, not even going down that route. And then Infamous is lurking in there. You don't really have five-way fights for the time. Oh, Brownie's in trouble!
That's both
What's
Renaults.
happened to the Renault? Oh,
yeah.
No, that's a Stavilo.
And safety car. Okay, this is huge. This is massive now. Watch the position changes light up. The soft runners are almost guaranteed to come in and go onto the mediums. But I also need to... Oh, that's not good. Prationator with a huge penalty for colliding into the back of Hypers. Does he have wing? He must have wing damage as well, surely.
How the hell did he do that? That must have gone horribly wrong or some kind of lag moment.
Oh, Get Owned's got one as well.
Another one. Get Owned on Panpernick. Yeah, vast majority of people have pitted. Camille had no choice because his teammate came in. Yana, I would assume Yana. Oh no,
he served behind him. Prationator's serving it right now, so he's going to lose a lot.
Well, I mean, he'll lose less considering that. Well, no, because he's going to be behind so many people.
Yep, and that's his issue.
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's going to really, really hurt. Because he's not going to be able to... Well, there went all the kind of thinking we were doing on how the top race is going to do. Camille's going to... That's going to really hurt Camille, though. Because he's got no choice. He has to sit behind the safety car.
So... I also need to mention real quick that the stewards have been in touch during all that madness. The stewards have been in touch that there was a contact issue between Tom and Dennis that was happened on lap 1, which sent Tom right to the back of the field. That is going to be investigated after the race. So bear that in mind. We will see what the response is from the stewards later, post-race.
Well, Copy and some idiot have gone an alternate route with hard tyres. That's pretty much their own death certificate as far as this race is concerned. Will the mediums go that far? I should think they would.
The mediums will go to the end of this race now. I mean, those guys that are already on them from the beginning will obviously, no matter what, will have to pit because they can't go to the end, otherwise they'll get disqualified. Copy and some idiot, they've gone for the hards, and I really don't think that was the right tire choice to go on, if I'm being truthfully honest. I mean, the mediums are very cozy here. They will not have any issues keeping the life in the tires. If anything, you know, you're going to be still cozy towards the end of it. It's just more the fact of just pace. Are you comfortable on the hards? I don't think that you're going to be able to chuck anywhere near the same lap times as you can on the mediums. I think the mediums are like a real huge amount different in comparison to the hards.
Also, Longe's got a bit of an awkward situation ahead of him because he's got 4 cars out of position right ahead of him, and they are not probably going to be too interested in letting him go. They've got plenty of life in their own medium tyres that they started on. And they're going to be involved in their own fight. You know, JC, Bottas and Kai. And Camille... Well, surely Camille's going to come in this time. I'm surprised the safety car's not coming in. But...
Is he coming in? No, he's decided to stay out. That's an interesting strategy. I don't know why. I don't know why you would do this. Why would you stay out? You would always double stack when a safety car comes out. If you need to swap tires, you just double stack. Yeah, you're going to lose a fair few places, but now you're in a predicament. You either stayed out, which is done right now, and you lose all of the places because every single car now is close enough for you to lose every single place. or you try an alternate strategy. But the alternate strategy is exactly the same strategy as what you're on right now. You're just doing it later. I don't think this is the right one to make.
No. Camille has consigned himself to the back of the field.
I think he may be out of the points if he doesn't pull something. He must hope for a safety car, that's it.
People accidentally overtaking each other down the camel straight. Surprised the safety car's still out.
I think it's coming in this lap. We'll see when we get to the start of Sector 3 whether or not it does decide it's time to come in or not. But I actually saw on this exact track, it did take a little bit longer to come out, to go back in again, sorry, just because the back runners hadn't yet caught up to the pack. Now we're seeing them, they're all here together. They're all very much in this very rainbow-coloured snake that's going on the circuit. But yeah, I mean, when the safety car comes in, Camille is going to really dictate how this race goes down. He's going to try and line it up with his teammate so that his teammate can fire one alongside Kai and maybe get that pass done very swiftly. Oh, Hypers! That will likely be removed because ultimately you can't gain any pace here for that. So maybe just ignore that for now.
He must have been I don't know where. On the gas after speaker, so he must have done.
Interesting. We'll have to wait and see. We'll let the stewards decide what they do with that. But yeah, I mean, as it stands, he does have that 10-second penalty to be applied, but likelihood is that will probably be removed post-race. We shall see.
He best hope he doesn't have to come in again.
Oh yeah, because he'll have to serve the whole thing. Oh no, I don't think he does. If it's a 10-second, I don't think he serve the full 10.
No, he wouldn't serve a 10. He serve. There we go. Safety car is in. Yeah, like you said, I think Camille is wanting to try and aid Longuet to get past these 4 cars out of position.
Yeah, I think this has now gone from a racing point, two drivers in the top 5, to a get Nicholas race win, is what this seems to have been now. 100%. I don't know if Camille decided he was going to do this off his own back, whether it's a team order or whether Camille just made a mistake, or maybe there may be an alternate option. I'd be very surprised if there is. But whether or not Camille has got a solution to get him out of this mess, because I think this is a mess he can't get out of. But he does have the dictation towards the race start, and I think he's going now. He's decided time to fire one away.
Yeah, off he goes.
And Camille gives us the restart.
Yeah, we are racing here at Spa once again. So all eyes are really going to be on what Longuet can do against the 4 that's in between himself and his teammate at the moment. Tom is doing what he can to stay nailed to the back of Longuet. So essentially, I mean, the McLaren's out of position as well. He's in between himself and Hypers. Hypers will not be happy about that. So Longuet has definitely gained as a result of all this.
Yeah.
Camille has just essentially sacrificed his race. Now, he's obviously not going to be wanting to push away too much if he's trying to hold up. Wow, Hypers has already mugged Tom coming down the Camel Straight. That was how much he wanted to get that one done. Of course, he didn't want to lose too much time against Longuet, but I don't think he has too much to worry about that. As Kai Mancini is doing what he can to keep Longuet behind. Here comes Hypers. He's going to try him. No. I thought he was going to try and bounce on the inside of Rivage there as Kai's gone too deep. There goes Longuet. And what's Hypers going to do? Oh, he's one for taking the opportunistic moves. Down towards Pouon. He's going to have to wait. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. You know Hypers are going to try and banzai it somewhere. Oh, Kai's struggling. Oh, never mind. That's just opened the door for Hypers to slide on through. Oh, dear.
Kai's gone. Kai came back to the track and he just went a little bit too far in and hit the back of Vipers, and that sent him off. And we've got another safety car. This is the savior that Camille needs. He needs this now, but he's still too close to call. He's in so much trouble.
Well, all this really does is it means he won't fall miles off the back of the pack, but he's still got the pack to work through. He needed that safety car later than it was. He's pushing his luck. He's building up. Look at the gap he's got between himself and Yenab. Yenab is obviously keeping the Delta. Camille, well, he'll get the Delta back because he'll be standing still. Where the hell is he going to filter out? This is...
I don't think he will. I think he'll be at the back no matter what now. I think the gaps are still too short.
Yeah. I mean, he's done what he can, but it was never going to be enough, was it? Yeah, here comes the rest of the field. If he's lucky, he might get a few, but he won't. He'll be towards the back no matter what he does. There's a few more in.
Yeah.
Copy and Danny have come in, so that guarantees he won't be at the absolute back.
He might actually get a couple
everyone
here.
else has passed him.
Is he going to get a couple here? Yes, he is. He's going to fill her in front of Brownie, so that's still not the back of the grid. But this is disaster for Camille. That one decision not to come in has really chucked his race in the bin. Now, yeah, his mediums will be so much better, as we go further into this race. But another safety car may rescue Camille for all we know. We may see somebody chuck on the softs later on if we see it later on. But I would be very, 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 very surprised if we see another one. I would also be very surprised if Camille can benefit from anything right now. He's going to have to put down the drive of his life if he wants to get back into some serious point scoring positions.
I was surprised somebody didn't bin the hards. I'm actually surprised he didn't do it, but Danny did. I think it was Danny that was on the other one that was on the hards. Who's been in twice? Yeah, it was Danny. Danny and Copy. That's their second stop now. I was surprised that some idiot stayed on him, but well, that's what he's done.
Yeah.
If Camille gets into a podium, dear Lord.
Yeah. I mean, we saw. Do you remember Nicholas in Britain when he went from last and literally finished first? He had penalties, don't get me wrong, but he physically finished first. That's the kind of drive we're going to need to see, but from the other Racing Point driver this time.
Yeah, what he needs is those really big snowplows and just burrows underneath everybody.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
The whole desync thing we saw in F2, he just needs that just a burrow underneath everyone. Just don't mind me.
You know those zombie survival trucks you see in films where they've got those big ramps on the front? You just need one of them to plow through every single one of them. Yeah. But then strap some rockets on the back as well, and maybe even get some saws on the sides of your van so you can just rip the tires off the car. Just adventure a little bit. But Camille hasn't got any of those available to him. He is absolutely... Oh, he's screwed, let's be honest. He's in so much trouble here.
I wonder what the medium starters are thinking. There's only 4 of them left. Yanam, JC, Bottas, and Tom. I wonder what's going through their minds at the moment. Will they pit now?
They won't. Tom they can't. That's the problem. They can't pit. Like, they want to. They really want to benefit from these. And ideally, if the safety car came later...
Tom has.
What's he going to... Is he going to go hards? He can't go on mediums again. And softs would be suicide. He's gone softs. He's gone softs.
I was going to say, it's his only choice.
But why would you pit now?
Well, throwing the dice. Don't listen to me! I'm the worst person to take tyre advice from, man. Dear Lord. He'll be rapid for a while. Short while, but... Well, that's another position that Camille doesn't have to worry about, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so.
The form book is just out of the door at this point. I just don't know what to call now. Longay's, the pressure's on Longay now because he cannot afford to get caught up in the battle with the top 3 now. He can't afford... I doubt Hypers is just going to sit there and let him watch the battle of the top 3 until they come in the pit. I doubt Hypers is going to give Longay the luxury, so the pressure's on Nicholas now. He's got to get the moves done, and he's got to get them done cleanly.
Yeah. And it's going to be hard. That's the problem. These guys are not... Yeah. And then, they'll give them space, but they will defend hard. Just Chillen almost made a big mistake there. That was... he caught it pretty nicely. I mean, it looked like it was intentional, but you could see on the entrance to it, it was not. It was definitely not.
Oh, he'll claim that's calculated. He'll definitely claim he meant it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like when you play Rocket League and calculate in chat. If you don't type it, if you don't say it, it's not calculated.
That's it. Exactly that. Ooh, nerves will be jangling then.
Yep, for sure. I mean, the thing is, Hypers is going to send it 100%, or at least he's going to follow Nicholas no matter what. If Nicholas passes Bottas gang, Hypers is going to be right there on the back of him. Hypers is only going to be looking to stay as close to that Racing Point car as possible because he knows he doesn't care about the other 18 drivers. The only 2 people that matter on this track to Hypers is him and Nicholas. These 2 have got a rivalry that I have not seen anywhere else for such a long time. It's like Hypers looks up to Nicholas. It's like this.
Frost, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like a weird one because it's like Hypers kind of looks at Nicholas as like a big brother kind of style. That kind of rivalry where the younger brother is always trying to be the better one. Mm-hmm. But Nicholas just always is better, and that's the thing. That's what's stopping Hypers from being so amazing,
But look at his performance this season so far. I mean, okay, he's had some luck, I grant you, but Either way, look at it as you will. Yanab has floored it. We are racing here once again. Oh dear, somebody has already got himself a penalty. Well, very, very cold hard tires. Oh, that's Bottas, bit deep into the source, but does not. Sorry, he gets away with that one. JC and Yanab having a decent scrap. That one's going to change hands, I would have thought. Coming down the Camel Straight. What's Longe going to do? He's already going past Bottas, gang. That's risky. Very, very risky. Going on the inside of as they exit Radion. JC and Yanab side by side. Yanab holds on to the lead. Bottas, gang, no. Oh, wow, that was close. Hypers, now that's not what Hypers wanted.
No.
He does not want someone in the way, but Hypers knows how to pass on this track. I thought he was going to try and ying that one on the inside of Rivage, and he does do that one on the inside of Rivage. He saw that Bottas was struggling a little bit, and Infamous is following him through. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Either Bottas has been very accommodating, or I suspect he's got a problem. Oh, no, that's a teammate. It's Preshne he's just let through. Now, his teammate I can understand.
Well, what basically happened was Hypers kind of pushed Bottas gang out wide and sent him onto the curb. He got onto the curb and you've got no grip there, so he had to carry it over the curb, stay on the outside bit, and that allowed Infamous to ride on through. And then obviously the next car up with his teammate, and you know, team orders comes into play, and he said, "Okay, you gotta go. I gotta let you go." But yeah, Hyper's definitely got his elbow out, and here comes Nicolas Longe on the back of Just Chillin'. It's going to have to be an inside line through Blanchimont, and JC will absolutely let him by. Or is he? Because he's sticking it to him. He's gone wide, but he's kept himself within the track limits. No more than a warning is all that's going to be, and Just Chillin's going to filter in behind him because he knows the car he's really battling here is actually Yenab. So Nicolas is going to be the toe, if you like, here for Just Chillin', as long as he can keep within it. We've not yet got DRS available until the end of this lap, beginning of next. And that's when things are going to get very heated up. But look at Camille. He's making quick work of people. He's up to P11. Oh, he almost runs into the back of Pempernick, and Yonti goes down the inside, but into the side of Camille. He's actually going to lose a place here to Dennis. Dennis now, he's trying to get the toe on Camille so he can keep Yonti at bay. But I think Yonti's going to be in a much better position here. He's so much closer. He got a better run through Rouge Radion. And I think Dennis is about to lose a position yet again. Here it comes. Oh, they're alongside of each other, and it looks like they're now equal pace. Scratch that. Dennis is slightly faster, and unless Yonti can stick around the outside, which he can't, then Dennis will keep P12.
Camille was on the outside of the entrance of the chicane at the end of the previous lap with Yonti. That's where that particular maneuver started. So again, Camille is very conscious of losing time against the top three. Oh, as Pempernick just grazes the wall. Speakers now coming down towards Puon. Well, Camille is just going to have to drive like a man possessed if he wants any part of the top echelon of this race. Precision is doing what he can to hang on to the back of Infamous, who is hanging on to the back of Hypers, who is staring at JC, wishing him to get out of the way pronto. But JC's doing exactly what he's entitled to do. He's holding his line. He's doing what he's perfectly allowed to do. Yes, he's not in the fight around him. He doesn't need to jump out of the way. He's not obliged to. Here comes Longe on Yenab, trying to go on the inside on the entrance to the chicane. Can he get that one done? Well, he can, but will he get that one slowed down? Yes, he will. And Hypers has just nailed JC into that chicane. Pempernick and Ghetto to swap round at exactly the same point. DRS now available now. And yeah, indeed. Infamous has nailed JC as well. JC's struggling for grip, it would seem, on those very worn, moderately worn medium tyres. And now Camille is getting involved with Pempernick side by side coming out of the source. Now the DRS is open. There's going to be a lot more shuffling going on.
Yeah. I thought that Camille was actually going to go alongside. I thought they were going to go too wide, go through Rouge Radion. Oh, man, he was so close to the back of Pempernick. Now he's got the run he needs, but they've both got DRS. Everybody in front of him has it too. It's just the fact that he has so much extra toe. He's just too close to benefit from the momentum game, and now he's going to have to go around. Oh, he's going around the outside. This is going to be a really good overtake if he can stick it, but he's got the outside for the next, and I don't think he can hold it. No, he cannot. Whoa, Pempernick with such a solid defense there. Very well driven from him. Nicolas has obviously taken the lead. Infamous is still hunting for Hypers, and Hypers is so desperate now. He can see Nicolas just ahead, and if he doesn't make quick work of Yenab, then that is going to be a DRS gap that he will not get back.
Indeed, he would. Well, not easily. He'd have to rely on a mistake from Longe. But Infamous is just enjoying being dragged along for the ride. Pracenader has got a great camera car view of everything going on ahead of him. And Yanab's just enjoying being in amongst some different people, I'd have thought. But yeah, Camille is doing what he can. But that was a brilliant defensive drive from Van Pernick. Kept his head cool, didn't do anything unnecessary, and successfully defended the position from someone we know is damn quick. As a Zones and Bottas gang having a bit of an argument coming through Blanchimont, which is very difficult to do at nearly double ton miles an hour. Hypers is close to Yenab, but not close enough though coming into the chicane.
Look at the gap between Yenab and Nicholas.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. You know, those tenths of a second are still going towards the Racing Point's favour. And Hypers would know that he needs to he's got to get the move done this time. Otherwise he's going to be in real trouble when the crew comes around again.
Yeah, he's got all the ERS in the world to work with. For some reason, he's sat in mode 0, so whatever reason he has chosen to not go for this, he's decided not now, unless my game is glitched out. He's also not using DRS, but...
I have a different view to you. He's in 4 with DRS open on my screen.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's got the position done. That's the most important part. He's up to P2, but yeah, clearly I have... Oh, now he's got mode 4, so I can actually see that now, which is good. I mean, this is going to be a very tough handling now for him. He's going to have to deploy everything to stay with Nicholas because he's on that limit. 9/10 is where it is. If he gets to a second, he's going to have no longer got DRS. And, you know, it's a similar position as what Infamous is in. He also can see Nicholas is running away. That's his P1 hopes and dreams disappearing if he can't pass Yenab soon. Oh, Yenab! There we go. Well, that's that one done. I think he's going to get this one pretty simply. I don't think Yenab can actually defend this. No, he's not. Preshnaya is going to look to do the same thing. He's going to try and get past as quick as he can. And Yenab, if he gives another mistake like that, he's going to drop like a stone, I think.
Doesn't another mistake like that, the wall's going to bite him. That was very well caught by Yenab, but cost him all that crucial momentum. And Preshnaya, is he going to ying that one on the inside of the chicane? I wonder. He's ERS up to 4. I think he wants to get the move done now so he doesn't lose too much time on Infamous. What's he going to do? No, not close enough this time around.
Oh, look at the gap between race leader. It's 1 second. No DRS for Hypers. He hasn't got it now, and they both chuck in fast laps. Hypers smashes Nicholas's away as well, but... Oh, he's back in again. Look at he is. He's back into the DRS. He needed that. He absolutely needed that to stay with race lead. The DRS will be available for him on the Kimmel Straight, but look at the gap that it still is. Nicholas is burning everything to try and get away from him. Hypers is burning everything to stay with him. Infamous is doing the same thing, but he's got a lot more to use. And whilst they all have DRS, it's going to be Preshnaya who still can't pass Yenab and runs the risk of losing DRS. Same as Infamous.
Good Lord, Hypers had the exit of dreams from Radion, has just obliterated that gap between himself and Longue. And their ERS, actually, Longue's got far less ERS than Hypers does. Longue saw him come in, tried to counter, I reckon.
Yeah.
With trying to burn up the battery, and it has done him squat. It has done him no good whatsoever. That gap has gone. Oh, we have got a one-on-one Longue and Hypers. It's been a few races. Here we go again. Let's have it. I'm also trying to keep an eye on Camille. He's still behind Van Pernick. The Ferrari's doing an awesome job of defending against the Racing Point.
And I don't think Camille's actually found any solution to this entire race, not just Van Pernick. You know, his current biggest issue is Van Pernick, and I think he was hoping, oh, I could just pass everyone using DRS and tow. You know, it's very simple, but it hasn't been very simple. Van Pernick is a quick driver, and he's currently showing he has got the minerals to be up there with the big boys, and so is Hypers right here on the back of Nicholas Longue. I mean, currently it's looking like he's run out of ERS completely for me, but I imagine that's not the case.
No, he's about 50%.
Yeah, he's got issues for me when it comes to the telemetry.
He had no deployment. He wasn't interested in making the move there because then he'll be vulnerable on the Kimmel Straight. Longue, 50%-ish. Hypers, 57. Infamous, 49. Infamous is still right in there. We haven't mentioned him too much in this whole scrap going on. Preshnaya should be able to dispatch Yenab this time around. Again, no disrespect to Yenab, but he has got no answer. But he was alongside before the DRS even opened. And there goes Hypers on Longue again. Longue knows the deal. Through he goes. That is going to change hands time and again. The one that's going to make the difference is going to be Infamous this time.
Yeah.
This is my original kind of top 3 from before Camille joined us. It is Hypers, Longue, Infamous. Again, as I say, I mean no disrespect to the rest of the drivers, but you know your pecking order.
Yeah.
You as a racer know who you're realistically racing against. keeping an eye on Tom as well on the soft tyres. He's in 16th now with a hard shod some idiot ahead of him. Still a strange decision in my mind, unless we're both being conned here. But that looks like he is on soft tyres as far as I know.
Yeah, same.
So we'll see how he gets on. But yeah, Camille now in 9th. Oh, Camille, as soon as I mention him, gets very squiggly on the exit of the Fanny chicane. Very nearly, he caught it at the right time, but that could have been him in the wall. But Pampernick no longer has DRS off the back of JC, so that could be the difference that he needs. But he's still, how far is he off the leaders now? He's 7 seconds with, what have we got, 7-ish laps to go?
Oh, yeah, Yenab's in the pits then. So we might see Just Chillin's decided to stay out. Yenab has come in, so he's looking to jump. Or just to sort of undercut himself, I guess, to keep himself there. We'll see. But the Driver of the Day voting has now opened. So do ! Vote in the chat if you want to get a link to go to the form and fill it out. Obviously, we do still have a few laps left to go. So maybe hold fire on the submit button, but definitely bear it in mind as we go forward. So right now, for me, I don't think I could pick anyone. I think it's just too close. I mean, it's surely got to be someone in the top 4, top 5, but... Who do you go for? I mean, Camille is lining up Pampernick. In fact, he's going alongside of him. He's trying to recover his positions he's lost early. He's finally got Pampernick dispersed, but it's a 1.5 second gap, almost 1.6 between him and Just Chillin', although he is bringing that down quite nicely. His gets past Bottas gang as well, so he's doubled up on his points to now go up to 2, and he's trying to help Mercedes stay in this Constructors' Championship fight, despite the fact they're leading it. We're going into Mercedes' most difficult area of the calendar. I've just seen front wing damage. Is that Pampernick's got right end plate missing? He has, yeah. That was a Ferrari end plate that's just jumped off his car, so Pampernick will start to fall like a stone.
Oh, that's such a shame. You're doing so well keeping Camille behind you. Camille is doing what he can to chip away at that gap between himself and JC, but he's only got 20% battery in that car. The top 4, let's have a quick look at them. 44 for Hypers, 51 for Longue, 55 for Infamous, and 40-ish for Praeschneider. So similar kind of grounds. Praeschneider maybe slightly lower than those around him, but Camille, he's nearly flat 3% on my screen before the braking zone. So that, well, they went JC, so that's someone else he doesn't have to deal with. He's going to find it so hard to get into that really crucial top 5 battle, if not impossible, with the remaining laps.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of people in the pits then, Just Chilling, Pampernick, Bottas gang. Pampernick had to come in because he had wing damage. He would have ideally wanted to carry on these mediums right the way to the end, but that wing damage is just going to cause him to lose so much time. Just Chilling's on the softs, Bottas gang's on the softs. Pampernick will more than likely, yes he has as well. So Yenab has managed to come back out in front of Just Chillin'. He's given himself a nice little cheeky, I think 3 seconds thereabouts. Yep, 3.5 between him and those behind. But this battle here for P1, oh, actually, scratch that, P9, there's contact, the 3 wide, Dennis, Yonti and Brownie. Dennis has actually just cut the corner massively. Surely he's got to have had a penalty for that, but Brownie is there as well. Yonti's on the back of this. You've got some idiot chasing him down as well. Danico, this is a big scrap here for P8 all the way down to P14. Who is going to come out on top here? I don't think we're going to see this end right until the end of the race.
Nope, I don't think so at all. That is going to need someone binning it for any major restructure of that fight as well. Same with the top 4, really. Zones is in a zone of his own. He's got 2.5 seconds ahead of him, 2.2 behind. I pick one out of the hat almost.
Yeah.
This is impossible to call. And again, you can hear the disappointment in my voice about that. It's absolutely fantastic. So Longue regained the lead in the usual fashion on the back of the Kimmel Straight. I was very much in the tight house. Oh, is he going to go for an inside of the chicane? No, he's not. I think he's probably doing that to try and distract. He's either doing it to distract Longue or defend against Infamous. Probably the latter. Because again, this isn't a straightforward fight for Hypers. As soon as you add a third car, and there's actually 4 in this one, as you can see, then the whole dynamic of the fight changes.
There is a drag race happening here between Sumidia and Danico. Sumidia is on the hard tyres, Danico is on the mediums, but Sumidia is making those those hards look like mediums, and he's currently driving hard. Here comes Tom down the inside on these soft tyres. Go on for it, Tom. You can get that drag race all the way up the hill, but he's going to have to sit tight alongside Danico. One of them's going to have to back out. It looks like it's going to be Tom, but Copy's here as well. Copy could gain a couple of positions here if Tom doesn't get the exit he needs, and he hasn't got it. Here comes Copy then. but I don't
Side
actually...
by side, Brace Nader and Infamous. Sorry to cut over you.
No, yeah, it's fine.
That was so close. Oh my goodness, how did they not just spew off into the dust? Hypers, I don't know why, but Hypers didn't commit to the move. I think Longe had a much better exit from Radion. And then Brace Nader and Infamous were gaining, but Brace Nader just had a little bit more speed. They were side by side through Laycom, and by a gnat's eyeball, didn't take each other off and have a very expensive accident in the corner. That was amazing between the two. Apologies, because that battle for 8th position is a cracker. I just got too excited with the top 4.
I'm glad you pointed it out because I didn't even see what was going on. I was so caught up in the action that was going on track at that moment in time for PA. It was just, I missed it all, but I'm glad you pointed it out, and the battles are still going on. Nothing's going to change, I think, for the entire race. We do still have 5 laps to go, so that's a lot of action that we can still see. Hyper's still very much on the rear of Nicholas Longe, but look at Hyper's ERS mode versus, I don't know if I'm still glitched. He's showing us 10% for me. Is it the same for you?
Nope.
What's
Longe is actually nearly full. Hyper's 60, Infamous 55, Brace Nader 43.
So it's wow. So Nicholas is the one who's most comfortable, although he should be the most uncomfortable. Hypers is struggling to stay with him. Infamous is struggling to stay with Hypers, and Brace Nader is struggling even more than all 3 of them ahead of him to stay up with even with this battle for P3. This is crazy. Surely Hypers has to go for him now then, is he? I think he is going for it. This is the moment of truth. Yes, he is. He's taking the outside line. He was very close to the back of him. I think Infamous is trying to get involved in this as well. He's also looking for a nice, clean run through the chicane. He's not quite got as good a run as he needed. Nicholas now P2. And the race has just been handed to Nicholas to dictate how this one goes down. But there is a battle going on for P8 and P9. I didn't see it. But Dennis has got past Brownie. They battled last lap and swapped places. They're battling this lap and they swap places again.
Yeah, I don't know where to look. Honestly, it is impossible to keep up with all this. It's Tom under the rear wing of Danny. We just had fastest lap. I think it was Pan Pernick that got the fastest lap last time around. It was, even though he's 15 seconds to the bad at the tail end of the field. It's a great shame. Hypers, he knows he's not going to be able to sprint away. The best he can hope for is that someone behind him gets either caught up in their own battle or makes a mistake. No, is he just... he's pushing on, trying to break away from Longe. Longe is now actually deploying his ERS to keep up with Hypers. You can tell this isn't an easy strategic race. They are sweating themselves.
Yeah. The only person who looked comfortable was Nicholas up until this point. I think the main reason he deployed was less to keep up with Hypers, more to defend from Infamous, because Infamous was mode 4 the entire run up through the lead up to Blanchimont, and the pace gap was so close. He's like, oh crap, I actually have to turn this up now, and he's run away a little bit. He's kept it together. And I think Nicholas will either go for it next lap or the lap after, but the timing has to be perfect. If Nicholas goes now and they keep swapping places each lap, Nicholas will still take the win.
Maximum deployment briefly for Longe. I think he's doing the strategy. Yeah, that was a strategic call. He just wanted to keep the Infamous behind. He just briefly turned his ERS up to 4 and back down to 0 again. He wants all the power. He wants all the battery and all the power to deploy at the end of the race. That's what he's thinking of at the moment. Oh my goodness me! Well, again, I'm assuming that's what he's doing. Dennis and Brownie continuing their fight for 8th position. The Renault now ahead of the Red Bull. Again, same maneuver going on. It's the Camel Straight that is to their aid. And then right behind them, Yonti. Brownie flirting with the wall. Dennis trying to find a way through. Some idiot is right behind them. How the hell some idiot's making those hard tyres work at all? I do not know. Danny right behind him. Tom right behind him. And Copy right behind him. So a long train there. And that top field is actually beginning to break apart a little bit, interestingly. That's probably the most amount of gap they've had for the last 3 or 4 laps.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I am thoroughly enjoying this Grand Prix. This is being such a tough one. I mean, there's a lot of suspense build-up, a lot of position changes. All of it seems to be on the Camel Straight, except for Camilla, who seemed to be doing a really crazy job of sending it through. And right now, he's there, P6, still in with a shot of getting into that top 5. I honestly didn't think he had a chance of doing that. He's only got the rest of this lap now and the next to do it in. But Nicholas has decided he didn't want to go on the last lap, the previous lap to attack Hypers. Is he going to attempt it on this one? If he decides to do it on this one, then he better sure as hell have a very good defensive opportunity. I think Hypers is actually going to let him go here, but now the pressure is going to be on Hypers. Here he comes, Nicholas. Look at the pace he's chucking down. Straight on through. No change there. But this is also where we're going to see Infamous go for it. And remember, this is your last chance now to get your Driver of the Day vote in. We're probably going to want to wait until the end of the last lap, though, because I think this is about to be a showdown.
Longate's given the advantage to Hypers, in my opinion, because if Longate had taken the risk and done that on the final lap, Hypers would have found it near impossible to banzai back past him. But Longate knows what he's doing. He's done many laps around Spa in these conditions, no doubt. Looking skyward, the clouds are coming in, but a tad late to make any difference to this race. My goodness me, Camille is actually in DRS range of zone, so he could well take the 5th unless something really dramatic happens to our top 4. He's not going to go any higher than that, I'd have thought. He's battering near the floor. Longay, 68, Hypers, 40, Infamous, 49, Bracenader, 49. So actually Hypers has burnt the most out of the top 5. It all is going to come down to the last move on the last lap.
Now this battle as well for P8 is just getting spicier now. Some idiot who's on the hard tyres is starting to show he's got a lot of pace, and he's literally one position away from taking P10. He's already lining up Yonti for this overtake. He's actually going to send it. He's not going to have a lot of ERS to defend on the last lap, but I don't think he really cares. He's just trying to get there as close as he can to Yonti. Yonti's got really good braking distance there. He stopped that car so quickly, and as a result, this is actually holding them back, but the gap is extending between them as Dennis and Brownie are closing in pretty quickly. This battle's going to go down, but I want to go back up to our race leaders because this is going to be tense. Nicholas looks like he's done enough to keep Hypers at bay.
DRS from Hypers. Oh, his DRS he didn't open the DRS in time. I don't know whether he had a part failure, but his DRS did not open at the beginning of the Camel Straight. And Camille has just nailed zones into Lake Arm. Oh, but he needed his elbows out to do it. So Camille is into the top 5. But Hypers, the one time he needed his DRS to work. Oh,
Zones, no! He's facing the wrong direction. He's about to come back on track. Oh, he's so scary there. He was in such a good position, and everything's gone wrong on the final lap. That is not what you want to see. And I think I saw Dennis as well getting a penalty, which is not good news for him. He's going to drop like a stone. Look how many people are so close to him. He's going to go from being in P8 with an opportunity to get P7 to outside of the points on that one penalty alone.
He'll be kicking himself for that, but Longay will be breathing a huge sigh of relief from that DRS failure from Hypers. If my screen needs to be believed, either that or he was very slow in opening it, which I really can't believe. Is Infamous going to try and nail Hypers coming into the chicane? He's got no answer to Longay. Here comes Infamous coming to Rashomon. He's got the pace to do it. Is he going to be able to do it? He's committed to the outside line. No, he's backed on a bit. No, he's committed. No, not quite. It's impossible to know. It does look like it's going to be a win for Longay.
And Hypers actually manages to get his DRS wing wide open for the second lap, and he drops. He's got a penalty somewhere. Oh yeah, of course. He got that 10-second. Remember?
Oh
for
yeah,
the
10-second penalty, which will be
Okay.
I knew I'd forget about that.
Yeah, I did as well. I got debated so hard. I thought he was going to be right up there, but no. I mean, look at the penalties coming in now then. So Dennis falls right the way down to P13. Some idiot falls to P12. Tom getting best of the rest. And Copy gets himself a point. I think that might be Williams actually scoring one of their first points in quite a long while.
Oh, man. But you could not call that until the final corners, the final lap. You really could not call that. I honestly thought Hypers was going to have that because Longay made his move, in my opinion, a lap early. But as it turned out, once again, I was wrong.
It's just, I don't know what happened. It's like Hypers just said, I've had enough now. I'm going to let you have this win for once. And that was it. I don't understand. I mean, obviously, yes, he actually finished in the end outside of the podium altogether due to that penalty. But realistically, when that penalty is removed, we're going to see somebody else back in P2, We'll see how that goes down. But in terms of Twitch chat driver of the day, it's Dennis again for the second week in a row who wins driver of the day vote with 33%. We'll get to our vote in just a second as we go through the rundown for that entire Grand Prix. So Nicholas Longay takes the win, with Infamous there in second, with Pressure Schneider there in third. Camille manages to recover very well to P4, and Hypers finishes P5 provisionally until the penalty is removed, which will put him back to P2 if that is removed. Brownie in P6, Get on P7, Yonti P8, Danico P9, Copy P10, with Tom getting best of the rest. Samidia in P12, Dennis P13 due to that massive penalty he got on the very final lap. And Yena P14, Just Chillin P15, Bottas Gang P16, Zone 17th due to that huge rotation he had on the final lap as well. He was also in a great position. Pampernick 18th, Kai DNF, right? Did he DNF? I think he DNF, didn't he? And you also DNF.
Session, I can't remember.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they both DNF'd. Yeah,
rated, didn't he, at Puhon?
Yeah. So we lost Yolta, we lost Kai. They caused both the safety cars, and that's it. Now, the important question: what's your driver of the day?
Longue.
Yeah.
To me, it's Longue. I went Racing Point last week. I'm going with the other one this week. Oh man, it's tough because Hypers did a brilliant job of hanging on in there. But just Longue timed it right at the crucial moment. So for me, it goes to my man Longue.
Well, we get to hear from him in just a second as we are about to get them in here for a nice little interview with the top three. Let me scroll down to the teams. We'll start off with P3 person, which was Preschneider. Yes, it was.
Yes.
Is he online?
Infamous, no?
Yes. I think Infamous was P2 because Hypers...
Oh, as the podium currently stands, yeah, it'd be Preschneider.
Yeah. Preschneider, are you there?
Yes.
Hello. So provisional P3. Obviously, with the penalty applied to Hypers knocks him outside of the podium for now. Whether the stewards remove that or not is a different story. But however, you get the interview because you finished P3 on the actual podium at the end. How was your race? It looked pretty tough out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it all started in qualifying. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot that slipstream is a thing, so I didn't do it with my teammate and realized after the session. Which arguably probably cost me the pole, but got up to P3 at the start, and then once the first safety car came out, I kind of just wasn't, I would say, aware enough because it was safety car and hit the rear of Hypers, which gave me a 5-second time penalty that I had to serve in the pits, and then I was just at the back of the leading train, and it's kind of hard to overtake there because my engine was just overheating all the time. So but as I said, still pretty decent points, and happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, as races go, that was a very tough one to say the least. Once you're in that DRS train, like you said, it's hard to pass anyone because the Kemmel Straight is so reliant on that toe, and everyone's got it, and everyone's got DRS. It's just the race leader swapping places, and that's it. Really solid race throughout the entire Grand Prix. Obviously, you still scored some huge points for your team. Next week is going to be another tough one. Are you excited for it?
Yes, obviously.
And I as always, I need a prediction from you.
Yes.
Yeah, go on then, let's have it. Let's hear it. I want to hear your prediction.
P1 by 4.4.5 seconds.
Okay. I mean, there's being confident. there's being unrealistic. I'll take your P1 though.
Yeah, I'm, counting the fact that hopefully Nicholas, Hypers, and others will crash out, so, I can just cruise to the win.
Conspiracy.
It'd be very unlikely that will happen, I'll be truthfully honest. I mean, it's Monza, let's be honest. Monza in itself is a very tough track. We've been able to see Nicholas's pace when it was in the esports of F1, and it was scary, to say the least. But doing it then and doing it now is a whole different ballgame. Do you think you can dethrone him?
I think so. I mean, as always, it's going to be difficult to beat someone like Nicholas, but I definitely think it's possible.
I'll tell you that as a firm yes. But well done on your P3 today. A very well-driven race overall, and scored some very valuable points for your team. Look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get in Infamous now for his P2 position. Good evening.
You right?
How are you? How was your race? P2 overall? Before stewards get hold of anybody, but...
Yeah, I imagine Hyper's penalty will probably be disputed. So whether it's P2 or P3, Not especially bothered because, yeah, it was just a slipstream fest that whole race. Couldn't really do much. But yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, once you're stuck in that train, like you said, it's so hard to get out of it. But, you could see Nicholas, you could see Hypers scrapping non-stop. There were moments where you were so close to having an opportunity to go for it. Was there anything you think you could have done differently, or do you think you drove flat out?
I think I drove like decent, but I think I made a mistake using a different setup. I was just not getting any traction off the slow corners, and that's compounded by the Haas, which for me at least has really bad traction. So I was just slow in the wrong areas, and it basically gave me no opportunities on the main straight, which was a shame because I would have liked to have got into battle a little bit more. But it's a learning curve, and hope I can get over it.
Now, it's a podium no matter what happens with the stewards, so it's still really solid points for your team. You currently sat P2 in the Constructors before the points have been counted up from this race. I have no idea if you're still there afterwards. But, the Constructors Championship dreams and hopes are all focused on Mercedes. You're running towards the end now, or, we're running into the second third, if you like, of the calendar. Are you feeling like this is going to be an opportunity for you to bring it back? Do you think that Mercedes team is still reachable?
I think they're definitely still reachable. I think if we have more races like this, where there's more than a couple of us within the fight for a lead, we can take points away from Hypers because at the moment he's the main man at Mercedes. And if we can keep it consistent at Haas, there's always opportunities, and we're always trying to do the best for each other as well. So we'll see. But it's going to be tough either way. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out at the end.
And last but not least, next week is Italy. Now, I was just talking to Preschneider about that race as a whole. I know we saw the pace that Nicholas showed down in the esports, so we've not yet seen what it looks like from Hyper's perspective or any of the others. But how confident are you going into the track? And where would you predict yourself at the end of it?
It's hard to predict because, I've only seen Nicholas's true pace around there, and he's, I think he was picked to do the esports race there for a reason. He's insane. But I think if I have a good setup that can do qualifying and the race nicely, I think I can be in the battle for the win. But yeah, we'll see.
Good, brilliant, positive. I will take that as a solid P1 prediction. Good. Thank you very much for today. Very well done on getting your podium position, no matter whether it's P2 or P3. But overall, you should be very happy. Thank you very much.
Cheers, dude.
All right, Nicholas Longate. Where is he? The man of the hour. And now he's going to be talking so much talk here. Here he is. He's already laughing. Before he's even got in the room, he's already laughing. He knows what's coming.
Hello.
Now, you said it to me offline about how he was going to come into this race. You told me, I'm going to beat Hypers and it's going to be easy. You made it look pretty comfortable, but there were a few questionable moments in there, and especially on the second to last lap when you decided to go then. My only question is, why then?
Because I knew I could beat him just on straight up pace. I had saved 100% ERS, and I knew that if I just dumped all my ERS, he wasn't going to catch me, and that's what happened. Until that point, all I did was save ERS. I didn't need to go fast, and I was just waiting for Camille to come to reach us. So I was just sitting there until the last 2 laps, and then I just did the exact same thing that Danny did in the esports, where he just dumped all his ERS in the last 2 laps, and you can't do anything about it.
And it was very much a DRS train throughout the entirety of that Grand Prix. Was there any moment of doubt there for you? Did you know you had that in the bag the whole way through? I mean, it's obviously you, so the answer is more than likely going to be yes. But did you actually know that, or are you just saying that?
Well, with the DRS trains, anything can happen. Like I think Infamous and Preschneider also kept it pretty chill on the back. They didn't try to attack too much. They knew that we just needed to keep our gap from the cars behind. But yeah, I was confident that I was gonna take the win from Hypers tonight. Well, there's 42 points more to go, but slowly but surely I'll make it back up.
Now, with that penalty that he got, he's likely going to be removed because it was corner cutting under the safety car, which really you can't really gain any pace there. So more than likely he'll probably end up getting removed, which will put him back to P2. So the gap won't be as big as you think. But I'm just curious with your teammate, because that race, the strategy for him was very interesting. Now, granted, he did still get back up to the top 5 when the penalty was removed, but surely he could have been in for the fight of a podium there.
Yeah, he was definitely fast to keep up with us. When the safety car came out, we kind of had a chaotic moment. We're like, okay, we're pitting,
But then at the last moment, he decided to stay out so he could hold the guys back. So the strategy was so that I could like pass, and then he was gonna try to keep them back. But unfortunately, a second safety car came out, so he just decided to pit. So that kind of messed up the strategy. But Spa is not a hard track to overtake, so he managed to get back up to P5. I'm not really sure what happened back there, but yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, he had a rough ride trying to get past Pampernick up until Pampernick made a mistake himself, damaged his wing, and then fell down the order, but he did still recover very nicely to get up there. All right, next week, Italy. We've talked about it in the interviews with with Infamous and Preschneider about your pace when you did it in the esports. You were scary quick. Have you got that same pace in you, or improved, slowed down? How are you feeling?
Well, I guess I think I like to think that I improved. Well, the more you practice, the faster you get. But yeah, I'm confident that I will be one of the quickest there. But it's Monza. It's literally worse than Spa in terms of slipstream train. So I think there needs to be some luck involved for sure if I want to break the DRS. But it's going to be a hard fight.
All right, well, congratulations again on your race win. That thing is locked in, but you are going to have a race on your hands next week, I think, because I think Hypers is not going to be happy with the fact that you got the win. He's going to sweat his little heart out until he can beat you at Monza. Brilliant. Well done again on the 25 points, and I look forward to seeing what you can do in Monza next week.
Danke, boys, and bye, stream.
And that's it for the Rwagnation League Grand Prix here in Belgium. I've been Ben Raggy McConnell, as always, and Mr. King Kodiak alongside me has been incredible. Thank you so much, sir. You are a legend, as always.
Always a pleasure.
And we'll see you next week for Italy.